Should I avoid telling my employer that I'm buying a house? So I'm at a relatively new job. Been here just over a year. And after 9 years of saving my money, I'm in a position to finally buy a home. I've been spending a lot of my time recently house hunting, seeing houses and the like. Now, I've had a lot of people telling me to avoid letting my employer that I'm buying a house. A lot of their reasoning is so that my employer doesn't get an idea that I'm now reliant on their income to survive. I've also had a friend mention that telling his employer he had just bought a house helped him months down the line when they were having layoffs. His boss specifically chose to keep him on to avoid hardship. What do you all think? Don't tell your employer anything about your personal life unless you absolutely must. They are not your friend. The CEO of my company has literally told me he gave one of my coworkers an ultimatum on a task because he had just bought a home and couldn't afford to say no. Did the same thing to a coworker who just had kids. He has even gone so far as to complain to coworkers that since I live so simply and have no debt, I'm difficult because I just say no. Don't tell them anything about your personal life, unless you're friends outside of work. Separate the two is extremely healthy. Backquote: the less they know, the better off you are. Backquote. Never share personal information with your employer. In many cases, your employer is likely going to find out anyway when the bank asks for the paperwork to verify employment or income. Also, change of address when you update employment records. Your employer will find out when the mortgage lender calls to confirm your income, and they will call or require a fax. They don't just trust your pay stubs. You could have faked them or been fired since then. People get jealous over the stupidest things. Don't share anything. Well, your employer already knows you're reliant on your income. If you weren't, you probably wouldn't be working there. HR will get a call to verify your employment, and that call will come from a bank. So they'll know you're buying a house, or taking out a large enough loan to necessitate the bank calling them. Your boss won't care, to be honest. Only you know your employer. Are they scummy or reasonable? Do you have a close relationship? I generally chose to keep as much from my employer as possible, but they have a history of narcissism. Some employers are good people who will understand your life situations and help keep you afloat. Only you can make this judgment call. Vulnerability is tough. Keep your personal life and work separate. I've been in my current job for almost 10 years. And I've had the same boss the entire time. We get along perfectly fine. I have no idea whether he owns a house or not. I had a boss that would consistently make the joke when one of his employees would buy a new big thing like a house or a car. "I am paying you too much." He always thought it was a funny joke. It's not funny. The only reason your friend was saved is because the employer assumed he was reliant on the income and would do 4 people's jobs for the same pay. That's usually what happens after layoffs. The ones left behind are buried in work. So no, I don't think it really helped your friend. Your boss is not your friend. Tell them nothing unless you have to. How is it your boss's business? It's not. They will almost certainly need proof of employment, so your employer will find out anyway. In 25 years of working, no one has ever asked about my living arrangements beyond that. Do not tell your employer or any coworkers, for that matter, anything about you that is not specifically related to your duties, work role. Y'all need to keep your personal business to yourself. I learned this when I was 10. Don't tell your employer anything. Why would they need to know? Anything you say can and will be used against you.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.